Imagine confidently dropping like $3,000 on a product that you've only ever seen as a tiny square on your phone screen.
Oh, for almost any other industry, that sounds completely insane.
Right. I mean, it's wild. But in the luxury wedding space, vendors try to do this every single day.
Yeah, and then they're constantly wondering why their conversion rates are just, plummeting.
Exactly. A slick website and a basic contact form, they just aren't cutting it anymore.
No, they really aren't. We are looking at this fundamental shift in how high-stakes, emotionally driven purchases are actually made.
Welcome to today's Deep Dives. We are taking a look at a document today that, on the surface, well, it might seem like a highly specific industry guide.
Yeah, it's an excerpt titled Cake and Dessert Pros, Joint Tasting Events with Planners.
And we're drawing on insights from an educational platform called Weddizer. Plus, we're weaving in some 2025 wedding trends that were highlighted by Synopis Style.
But here's the critical thing for you listening right now.
Yeah.
This is not just a conversation about baking.
Not at all.
No, it's really a masterclass in B2B partnerships and experiential marketing.
And it applies to almost any service-based industry you can possibly think of. So, okay, let's unpack this. How are joint tasting events between bakers and wedding planners completely transforming the way vendors win clients?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the text reveals this massive pivot. We're moving away from static online portfolios toward these highly immersive buying experiences.
Which is huge.
It is. It's about changing how a client feels, physically and emotionally, before they ever even see a contract.
Because the traditional method, like scrolling a gallery, sending an inquiry, hoping for a booking, it's just failing.
Right, because it leaves the buyer in this state of passive observation. They aren't engaged.
I feel like this is a bit like online dating, honestly.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. The Instagram feed is totally the dating profile.
Right. It gets your attention. You see this stunning, like, 5-tier metallic cake, and that photo gets the swipe.
But you can't marry an Instagram profile.
Exactly. And you can't confidently drop thousands of dollars on a dessert just because it looked good on a retina display.
Yeah, the in-person meeting, the actual tasting event, that is the first date.
And that is the mechanism that secures the commitment.
What's fascinating here is the psychology behind that first date experience. When you transition a buyer from a digital image to a multi-sensory physical experience, their perceived risk just plummets.
Because they're not guessing anymore.
Exactly. The sources emphasize that couples today, they demand to taste premium flavors. They want to match desserts to their specific themes.
And they want to look a vendor in the eye, right, to get professional recommendations.
Yes. When they actually sit down and experience, handcrafted macarons or artisan pastries right there in person, the purchase decision loses all its friction.
They aren't guessing if the product is good. They possess tangible proof.
Right.
The quote from the text that really cements that is, nothing sells desserts better than tasting them.
Which sounds incredibly obvious when you say it out loud.
Yeah. Totally obvious. But the business application is profound. You are forcing a shift from a digital hypothetical to a physical reality.
And this is but that creates an immediate logistical problem.
Oh, the hardest problem. Getting busy, stressed out, overwhelmed couples into a room to taste your product is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, a baker can't exactly just stand on a street corner handing out premium cupcakes to strangers.
I mean, they could, but it wouldn't pay the bills.
Right. Getting the right buyer into the room is always the most expensive and time-consuming part of customer acquisition.
And this is exactly where the strategy of partnering with wedding planners comes in. The text breaks down this B2B symbiosis that completely bypasses traditional advertising costs.
Yes, brilliant.
I look at the dynamic between the planner and the baker, like the bouncer at an exclusive club holding the velvet rope.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. If a baker tries to walk up to a high net worth couple all alone, like through cold emails or Instagram ads, they just get ignored.
They're stuck in the general admission line with everybody else.
Exactly. But if the baker walks up arm in arm with the wedding planner, they bypass the line entirely. The planner is the bouncer.
Because they already hold the trust of the couple. So they grant the baker instant VIP credibility.
Borrowed credibility is such a highly effective conversion tool.
It really is. The dessert professional elevates their status instantly. They go from being just some random vendor on a Google search to a preferred partner.
And the Weddizer material notes that a successful collaboration like this, it creates a whole pipeline of consistent referrals.
generating dozens of future bookings without spending a single dollar on outside marketing.
Which is incredible. I get why the baker wants this. Free, highly qualified leads are the holy grail of business.
Absolutely.
But if I am a luxury wedding planner, my entire reputation is on the line. I am not bringing my high-paying clients to a tasting unless it makes me look like a total genius.
Right. It has to be a highly curated flex for the planner, too. They must be getting massive ROI to justify their time.
So what's in it for them?
Well, the planner is essentially utilizing the baker's product to elevate their own service offering. By co-hosting a high-end tasting, the planner demonstrates their organizational expertise in real time.
Ah, so they're showing off a bit.
Exactly. They save their clients massive amounts of research time, which just reinforces their value proposition. They're curating a complete luxury experience.
So when a planner connects a couple with a reliable dessert expert in a beautiful setting, the planner looks incredibly well connected and effective.
Everyone in the ecosystem levels up.
For you listening, think about how the mechanics of borrowed trust translate to your own field. Strategic B2B collaborations can scale a service-based business exponentially faster than solo marketing.
So much faster.
Who in your industry already holds the velvet rope for the clients you want to reach?
That's the million-dollar question. If you partner with them, bring them tangible value and make them look phenomenal to their own clients.
You completely eliminate the cold pitch phase.
That requires execution, though. The text is very clear that the design of the sensory experience is what actually closes the deal.
Right. You cannot leverage borrowed trust and then underdeliver on the physical presentation.
No, that's a disaster.
Yes. So let's explore that design. Because if you just throw some expensive cake on a paper plate in a fluorescent lit conference room, that borrowed trust evaporates immediately.
It's gone. The environment has to match the price tag.
So where are they hosting these?
Well, the venue dictates the baseline expectation of quality before the client even takes a single bite. The guide stresses hosting these events in spaces like boutique hotels, luxury event spaces, maybe elegant cafes.
Or bridal studios, right?
Yeah, exactly. The atmosphere does heavy lifting in justifying the premium pricing of the product.
So once you have the right atmosphere, the guide really dives into how the product itself is presented. And this part really highlights the gap between what a vendor knows and what a client can actually imagine.
Oh, that gap is huge.
Right. Most clients lack the ability to extrapolate a whole vibe from a single slice of vanilla sponge. They can't see how that fits into a grand ballroom.
They just don't have that trained eye. So the guide insists on visual storytelling and theme pairing. Bridging the gap between a client's imagination and reality is a crucial sales technique.
How exactly do they do that?
The text advises vendors to explicitly construct scenes. So if the target market desires beach weddings, the vendor shouldn't just serve coconut cake.
Right. That's too simple.
Exactly. They need to present a full tropical dessert display. If the market leans toward rustic weddings, they showcase semi-naked cakes surrounded by fresh, natural flowers.
Or for a luxury ballroom, maybe a 5-tier metallic cake with handcrafted sugar flowers.
Exactly. It helps the client visually project themselves into their actual wedding day. They aren't just buying a cake, they're buying the feeling of their reception.
And this strategy scales beautifully, because they don't just stop at cakes, do they?
No, they're highlighting modern trends like dessert grazing tables, mini dessert shooters, artisan cookies.
Dessert walls.
Yes, the presentation is as memorable as the flavor itself.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The text describes vendors expanding these single tasting events into what are effectively highly curated mini expos. They don't just stop at planners.
A multiplier effect.
Yes, they start inviting florists, photographers, makeup artists, DJs, decor specialists.
So suddenly, a couple walks in to taste some dessert, but they hear a live DJ playing the exact tempo of a reception.
They see dramatic lighting perfectly hitting the metallic icing on a 5-tier cake.
They see floral arrangements framing the entire room.
It is total sensory immersion.
Which is an incredibly powerful psychological trigger for buying.
But building an immersive mini expo raises an immediate red flag regarding the business mechanic.
Oh, absolutely.
How does a vendor ensure this actually generates a measurable return on investment? Because organizing a multi-vendor sensory experience is useless if nobody shows up.
Or worse, if people show up, eat your expensive inventory for free, and then just leave without booking.
The harsh reality of business right there. Hope is not a strategy, and free cake doesn't pay the rent. So we have to look at the hard mechanics of marketing and capturing leads.
The source points to a very comprehensive omni-channel approach to get people in the door.
Right, like Pinterest inspiration boards, TikTok, wedding blogs, bridal communities.
But there is one specific lever they mention that makes all of this actually work.
Which is?
The absolute necessity of professional photography.
Oh, yeah. An amateur iPhone photo of a cake will actively destroy the luxury perception you were trying to cultivate.
The guide emphasizes using professional shots from previous high-end weddings to create that initial digital hook.
So if you want a client to attend a luxury tasting, the digital invitation